All right, welcome back to Falingo and to the next session of the following 30 questions of the German theory exam. Let's go. And here we have the first question for today, starting with a movie. All right. Oh, and we are on highway. There is an accident, or not an accident, there is a traffic jam. And we have the emergency lights on. And from behind comes an ambulance. So, what must you do now? I continue driving on my lane as far to the right as possible, as far to the left as possible, in the center. I continue driving on my lane as far to the right. Why? Because the way for ambulance, police, or firefighters is always inside the most left-hand and the middle one, or most left-hand and the next to it. So in this, that's right. So it's the first one. Nice to see you. Welcome, Arslan. One is correct. Okay, let's go on with the next movie. We are driving with 100 kilometers per hour. There comes an exit, and we are indicating. Wow, but there's again a traffic jam. And it's not... Actually, the lane to exit is covered by cars. So they're actually, the last car is actually getting into the hard shoulder. Okay, let's go to the question. What should you do? I continue driving, I get in line on the hard shoulder, I stop on my lane and wait for a gap. It's a tricky one. Well, let's see. Arslan, what do you think? What's your suggestion? What should we do? Continue driving, get in line on the hard shoulder, and stop on my lane and wait for a gap. Exactly, continue driving is the correct answer. I would say a lot of people won't do it. They would go for I get in line on the hard shoulder. But the thing is, people are used to, well, first of all, that is correct. Yeah, good. But people are used to that if they see the 300-meter sign, that they still have 300 meters left to slow down and then go into the exit lane. Or at least they can go ahead. And in that case, they have to push the brake that they don't crash into the last car, because it will be much closer than just 300 meters. And that's why you should go ahead and use the next exit. What must you do when a traffic jam forms on this road? Remain within my lane. I continue driving in the center. Drive as far to the left as possible. Drive as far to the right as possible. I think that is not that difficult. Remember, we have to leave the space open for ambulances or whatever, and in that case we have to drive as far to the left as possible, because we are already positioned on the left-hand lane, so we stay quite to the left, and the white car has to be more to the right, that in the middle everyone can pass. Exactly, the second one is correct. Good. Okay, we are leaving. 40 is required, and we are driving 40 right now. We are out of highway. And we are about to turn right. Go to question. What is the right course of action now? I warn the driver by sounding my horn and flashing my lights. I drive over the right side as far as possible. I notify the police. Okay, actually that's a bit mean, because when you do the exam, you can watch the movie again. And right now we can't, because I just skipped it. But you are right, it's 1, 2, and 3. And for all the others who don't know why right now it's 1, 2, and 3, because Arslan is right here. Let's check out here this picture. We have 2 lanes in our direction. One lane is turning to the right and this one is turning to the left. So the red car is going on the wrong side, and he will enter the highway into the wrong direction. And that's why we have to warn him that he might turn around before entering highway by sounding the horn, flashing lights, whatever, to avoid maybe a dangerous accident, and drive as far on the right as possible to avoid a crash. And yes, call the police, that they will call the radio stations and maybe catch him, that there is no risk for others. Okay, right now we're about to enter highway. Driving with 60, and here we go. And on the left hand side is a truck. We're still in the entry lane. Okay. What should you do now? I slow down and merge after the yellow vehicle. I accelerate and merge in front of the truck. I slow down and merge between the red car and the truck. Thank you. I just got something to drink. What should you do now? So we had the situation that the truck was on our left, and if you check behind the truck, there are a lot of other cars. So letting the truck pass and then enter is not a good idea. So I accelerate and merge in front of the truck is the correct choice in that case, and the only one. You want to exit the motorway. What is the right course of action in this situation? Let's have a look. We are driving with 60, and in front of us we have a construction, so we are forced to turn a lane to the left. However, we have that sign here. That means that the next exit is in about 500 meters. So it might be that we miss it and then we can't leave the highway at our desired spot. Okay, you want to exit the motorway. What is the right course of action in this situation? I move into the left-hand lane. I watch out for oncoming vehicles. I continue by driving on the hard shoulder. Okay, in that case, you move into the left-hand lane is correct. Watch out for oncoming. No, the oncoming traffic is on the other side of the highway, so that is not necessary, and obviously you shouldn't use the hard shoulder. So the first answer is correct. What must you do if you find yourself in a traffic jam on motorways and on highways with 2 lanes traveling in the same direction? I have to drive as far to the left as possible in the right-hand lane. I have to drive as far to the right as possible in the right-hand lane. I have to drive as far to the left as possible in the left-hand lane. So again, it's about this emergency way, or the path we have to build, and I think that is quite clear too. If you're on the right-hand lane, if there are just 2, you stay quite to the right. If you're on the left-hand lane, you stay quite to the left. And yes, therefore, drive as far to the right as possible in the right-hand lane and as left as possible in the left-hand lane. 2 and 3 is correct. There comes an exit. And remember, everywhere where is an exit, as well comes an entry after it. Tricky. Okay, go to the question. What is the right course of action now? I move into the left-hand lane. I move into the right-hand lane. I stay in the middle lane. So which of these three lanes we should choose? And I will open again the picture to make it a bit more easy if you haven't seen it. Because the important thing is on the right-hand mirror. There we can see it here on the right of the screen. There is a part of the motorcycle. Actually, I told you you're coming out of we were passing an exit, and after any exit comes an entry, and exactly in the shadow of the truck entered a motor bicycle. So he probably already, yeah, he's going straight ahead, and therefore you have to stay in the middle lane. To the left is no possibility. There's a red car, and on the right appears the motorcycle. So you stay in the middle lane. Correct. Good. Well done. Okay, we are driving 120. Again, we have a motorbike passing by. Now there comes a red car, and there is an exit in about 300 meters. Even if you couldn't have seen it, there you can see it too. There are 3 stripes, and each stripes in this type of signs tell us that it's 100 meters. So 3 stripes is 300. And now you want to leave the motorway at the next exit. What is the correct course of action in this situation? I observe the traffic behind me. I turn on my right side indicators now. I begin now to smoothly brake down to 60 kilometers per hour. Right. Which ones? Which is the correct answer? Actually, you have to decide. Let's see. I thought it's 8 meters each stripe. You're right, but not on highway. You're referring right now to the white signs with red stripes on it in front of how you say railway crossing. Then it's 80 meters. That's right, but not on highway. On highway, these stripes actually tell you it's 100 meters. Exactly, this is true. 1 and 2. I observe the traffic behind me. I turn on my right side indicators now, and you don't start to brake. You wait until you're in the exit lane, and there you can start braking. However, if you're asking yourself, so why is 1 and 2? I observe the traffic behind is because there is a special order when turning the indicator. You first have to look into the back mirror, then to the right hand mirror if you indicate right, and then indicate. Why? Well, it's better not to ask why you should do it in that order. We teach you to get it as a habit that you always stay safe. So if you still say, but why? It's maybe someone will overtake you at the hard shoulder, and then you will see him before entering into the exit lane. However, it should be in habit, so always observe the traffic behind and on the side, and then activate the indicator, and you start to indicate from 300 meters. That's why 1 and 2 is correct. Okay, your vehicle has broken down on the Autobahn. What must you remember when having it towed away? You must leave the Autobahn at the next exit. During towing, both vehicles must have their hazard warning lights switched on. You may continue along the Autobahn to the exit nearest a suitable garage. Okay, so we have a breakdown and we want to be towed away. So what do we have to remember? 1 and 2, you must leave, you're saying? You must leave the Autobahn at the next exit? Yes. During towing, both vehicles must have their hazard warning lights switched on. That's right, and you may continue along the highway to the exit nearest a suitable garage. No, you have to use the first possibility to get out, and you can't go on just because the next car shop is in 50 kilometers or something like that, then you have to use the landscape road, but you're not allowed to use the highway. Okay. You are driving on the motorway and have missed the exit. What is the right course of action? I reverse back on the hard shoulder because the exit is less than 100 meters behind me. I stop on the hard shoulder to plan my subsequent route. I continue driving and leave the motorway at one of the next exits. I think that is quite clear too. There is just one correct answer, and that is continue driving and leave the motorway at one of the next exits. So you can't stop on the hard shoulder to check how to go. And obviously reversing is very, very dangerous, and please never ever stop on the right and then reverse to still catch the last exit. So it's just the third question which is correct. Okay, how can lane changing assist help you in this situation without steering override? Okay, I think I have to move the camera here in order to see it clear. I will go a little bit up. No, that's wrong one. Where can I move it? Here? No, it doesn't let me move the thing. Huh. Actually, maybe I can turn it off now. Okay, now you can't see me, but what you can see is if we zoom in, there is a car on the left hand side, and we want to, according to the sign, we want to change the lane to the left, but there comes a car. That's the problem here. Okay, then I can turn on the camera. Hello. And now we can close the picture. So how can lane changing assist help you in this situation without steering override? This question is referring to that there are changing assist, and sometimes they can actually help you to steer or prevent you, but in this case it's without that functionality. So it is actually the light which you have on your left hand mirror or on the right hand mirror, which is sometimes blinking yellow, telling you that someone is in the blind spot. This is meant by the changing assist. So the assist performs a lane change independently. The assist brakes the speed of my vehicle. The assist warns of a possible collision with a vehicle in the middle lane. So regarding what I have told before, this changing assist does not interfere in your driving style. It's just a warning lamp inside of your side mirror. So the only correct answer here is warns of possible collisions with a vehicle in the middle lane. Exactly. Okay, let me turn off the cell phone. Okay, what is prohibited when using motorways? Performing U-turns, stopping on the hard shoulder, reversing. What is prohibited when using motorways? Obviously, you can't turn around. Definitely not. Stopping on the hard shoulder, neither. And reversing obviously is very dangerous on a highway or motorway. So all three of them have to be activated. Why should you have the traffic information switched on when driving on the motorway? Because the traffic information gives warnings about motorists heading in the wrong direction. Because the traffic information provides reports about traffic jams. Because the traffic information is a prescribed requirement for traveling on the motorway. So why do we have to have the traffic information switched on? Or should, better said. Yeah, why should it be good to have them on? Because the traffic information gives warning about motorists heading in the wrong direction, yes. And provides report about traffic jams as well. Is prescribed requirement for traveling on? No. You can have it activated, but you don't have to. It's recommended. For example, I got for my driving school now from Falingo, I got 2 cars, and there it was pre-set up. So even if I listen to Spotify during the driving class, suddenly the information, traffic information switches on automatically. I can turn it off. However, I will leave it in because yeah, it's convenient, and it's good to be, well, maybe it's not convenient, but it's good to be informed about possible risks on the road. But you can turn it off, it's possible. Okay, why is it dangerous if passengers sitting in the rear to not wear their seatbelts? A crash could result in injuries even at low speeds. A crash could result in injuries to persons in the front seats. A crash could propel these persons from the vehicle. Propel means that they're flying out or something like that. But don't imagine something like that. So why is it dangerous if passengers sitting in the rear do not wear their seatbelts? It could result in injuries. So first, definitely, it could result in injuries to persons in the front as well if they fly into the front of a person behind, maybe with a weight of 80 kilos. It is very dangerous for the people in front as well. And these persons can fly out of the car, definitely. So all 3 of them is correct. How are you allowed to transport a 5-year-old child in your car? On a back seat with waist belt fastened, in a suitable and approved child seat with test mark, in a back seat with standard 3-point safety belt. What is a 3-point safety belt? You have an idea? It is actually the same like the seat with waist belt fastened. Waist? Oh, no, that's just here in the middle. The 3-point safety belt is the normal the normal belt, which is on the right hand side connected on top and below, and then you push it like a triangle to the left to connect it there and seat in it. And that's why it has 3 connection points. And this is definitely not enough for a 5-year-old child. It has to be a suitable and approved child seat with test mark. And that's the only correct answer here. At which impact speed must you recon with serious or deadly injuries when no safety belt is worn? From 80 kilometers per hour onward, from 30 kilometers per hour onward, from 50 kilometers per hour onward. Yes, it's 30. From 30. There's not much to explain. Just please put on your seatbelt always. A car is equipped with 2 front airbags. On which seat must safety belts be worn? On all seats? Not on the front seats? On the front seats only. Yeah, 30 was correct in the last answer, exactly. And now, well, actually I said it already, yeah, in the last question. We have to always activate the seat belts. So it doesn't matter if you have equipped 2 front airbags, 4, 5, 6, whatever, you have to have the seat belts on always, on all seats. So it's 1. Okay, I will go on. You wish to take several small children home after a children's birthday party. What must you observe when using your car? The children must be secured with the prescribed child restraints. Child restraints need to be used within built-up areas. It is sufficient to secure the children with the existing safety belts. There is a rule that children minor to 12 years and below 1 meter 50 all centimeters, 1 meter 50 centimeters, always have to have a special child seat. So we have small children, and in that case they have to have a child restraint need to be used with built-up areas. Children must be secured with the prescribed child restraints, yes. And not be used, no, it has nothing to do if it's a built-up areas or not. So the only correct answer is the first one. Why are you driving? Well, while you are driving, the airbag control light stays on constantly. What must you do? Okay, if that control light is constantly activated, it means that your airbag is not adequately working. Or maybe the sensor doesn't work. One of these two. So what must you do? Nothing, because it is an indicator for the garage workshop. Go to a garage workshop. Take the vehicle off the road immediately. So definitely the first one can't be correct. Yeah, nothing, because it is an indicator for the garage workshop. No. It is go to the garage workshop and take the vehicle off the road immediately. Take the vehicle off the road. Okay, you say 1 and 2. I would say just 2. The third definitely not. But let's see. Let's see if you're not right and I'm wrong. Okay. You have to take action. Yeah, it's clear you have to go to the garage workshop. That's right. But you have to go as soon as possible, because actually there is a law in Germany which states that you have to have the airbags working, and if not, you're not allowed to drive. So you have to go there immediately to get it fixed, or at least checked. And that's why just the second one is correct. Okay, sorry. Okay, just 2. I was for the previous question. Then I'm sorry. But okay, then we both have it correct. Good. How can you prevent a child from opening a door while the vehicle is moving? I activate the central locking system. The child safety locks on the rear doors. There is obviously just one of these two correct. And I activate the child safety locks on the rear doors. Exactly, it's 2. The central locking system won't help you. The child might open the door from inside. So the only thing is the child blocker or safety locks on the back. You want to carry a child in your car. When must you use a child seat for this purpose? If the child is older than 12 years old and is under 1 meter 50 in height, or 150 centimeters in height. If the child is younger than 12 years old and is under 150 centimeters in height if the child is older than 12 years old and taller than 150 centimeters. A couple of minutes, I actually answered that question already. It is if the child is younger than 12 years old and is under 150 centimeters in height. It's just the first one. Not the first, it's just the second one. Both of these requirements has to work. Yes. If the child is older than 12 years old and is under 100 centimeters in height. Well, it's a good thing. Actually, I would check that up. Obviously, it has to be right here and then it has to be clicked. But I will have a look on that a bit more deeper, because if someone is under 1 meter 50 centimeters, 150 centimeters, he's not tall enough, and then he probably needs help, and it doesn't matter how old he is. So I will check it up. However, in that exam, please just mark the second option in that one to don't earn 4 mistake points. Okay, you want to drive with a baby in the passenger seat. What do you have to be aware of when using an infant carrier? Yeah, probably I'm not 100% right, but yes, I think that's worth to check. Maybe I can write it down in the comments next time or talk about it tomorrow, what I have figured out about that question. Okay, but now let's go on with that one. You want to drive with a baby. Okay, what do you have to be aware of when using an infant carrier? The baby must be strapped into the infant carrier. The infant carrier must be positioned reversed to the direction of travel. If installed, the passenger airbag must be deactivated. This belongs to all people who want to make the driver license to carry their family to nice places. In that case, the baby must be strapped into the infant carrier, is correct. The infant carrier must be positioned reverse to the direction of travel if you have it in the passenger seat in front. Yes. It's not only in front, he's talking just in the passenger seat. If installed, the passenger airbag must be deactivated. Yes, that's true as well. So all three of them. Why does the passenger airbag must be deactivated? Because in the answer before, the infant carrier must be positioned reverse, so you can see the head is going in driving direction if you have your baby on the right hand side, and if the airbag pops up, it will push the carrier, the infant carrier against the driving seat and will probably damage the baby, and that's why you have to turn it off, because the child seat is going into the place which has to be free for the airbag. Okay, what should be noted when using a seat belt? The seat belt should not be twisted. Once you have put it on, the seat belt should be pulled tight. A damaged seat belt should be replaced. The seat belt should not be twisted. Yes. Once you have put it on, the seat belt should be pulled tight is right too. And damage. Yes, of course. I would say all three. Yes. Okay, what inhibits the operation of a 3-point seatbelt? The 3-point seatbelt, we talked before of it, is the normal seatbelt with 3 points holding you back. So on the right, normally it is on the top and down, and when you push it to fasten the seatbelt, it's down below and on the left hand side. So that's a 3-point seatbelt, the typical one. Coming to the answers: wearing a thick winter coat, passing the belt under both arms, not fully locking the belt into harness buckle. What inhibits the operation of a 3-point seatbelt? Wearing thick winter coat, yes. Obviously, you have to put it over your shoulder and not under your arms. Not fully locking the belt into harness buckle. Yes, of course, too. So I would say the second one is quite clear. However, I can understand, especially women, sometimes when you have actually it's not that comfortable to if you put your seatbelts over your breasts. However, it's important for your safety, so don't pull it down or something like that, and you will get used to it, and it's simply necessary for the safety. That's why we can't pass the belt under both arms. Okay, what should you check before starting your journey? I check if every passenger has put on their seatbelt. I can ensure that I can properly observe other road traffic. I have the registration certificate part 2 with me. So before starting the journey, you have to check that every passenger has put on their seatbelts. It's for their safety, but as well, you as a driver, you are responsible. And if the police sees that someone in the back of your car hasn't put on the seatbelt, the one who's paying the penalty is you. So please have a look on that. I check if I can ensure that I can properly observe the other road traffic. Yes, that's why you have to check all the mirrors and adjust them before driving. And I have registration certificate part 2 with me. That's not a correct answer. The part 2 should never be inside the car, because with this document you can sell the car, and in case your car gets stolen, with that document it is very hard to get it back. However, if it gets stolen, which we will hope it will never happen, but you still have the certificate, then it's easier to get it back, or at least ensure that it's not easy being sold to someone else. So please don't take it with you inside the car. What should be noted regarding the desired protective effect of airbags? So what should be noted? Airbags can replace car seat belts when driving in town. Airbags can only achieve their full effect if the vehicle's passengers are in the right seating position. The airbag deployment zone may not be enroached. Airbags can replace car seat belts when driving in town. Definitely not. You have to still use the seat belts. Airbags can only achieve their full effect if the... Oh no, that's why I shouldn't click it. I'm sorry. Airbags can only achieve their full effect if the vehicle passengers are in the right seating position. And the airbag deployment zone may not be encroached as well. That's true. And a good example for that is if you are driving and someone else next to you puts the feet on top like this and drives like that, then in case the airbag gets activated, he will have definitely broken legs. That's why you should leave that space open and have a correct position inside your seat. Okay, You want to transport a person in a vehicle, and that person must remain seated in a wheelchair during the drive. What must you be aware of? The vehicle chair must be secured using a wheelchair restraint system. The person must be secured using a wheelchair user restraint system. The motor vehicle must be equipped with a wheelchair space. I have to admit, I've never transported someone in a wheelchair inside the car because I don't have such car which makes it available, because the motor vehicle must be equipped with a wheelchair space, and all of the other two answers is correct too. It has to be protected, the person inside the wheelchair and the wheelchair as well. That's why all three answers are correct here. What must you do when transporting bicycles on the roof of your car? Regularly check the fixing devices, safely attach holding device and bicycles, avoid driving at high speed. Regular check fixing, yes. Safely attach holding device and bicycles. I would say yes. Avoid driving. All three of them. Yes. Okay. All right. Coming to the last question for today. What must you check when transporting bicycles on a rear-mounted support system? So in this case, it's not on the roof. We have it at the back of the car, the bicycle's mounted. Answers: whether lighting equipment or number plate are covered, whether according to the manufacturer's instructions the system is adequate for the vehicle, whether system and bicycles are fixed safely. So what do we have to check? We have to check if the equipment or number plate are covered, because they should always be visible. Whether according the manufacturer system is adequate. Yeah, you can't use all systems for all type of cars, so you have to check if it's if your car is available for that support system, and you have to check if they're fixed safely as well. So all three of them are correct. All right, that was it for today. I hope you could learn a lot, and I have some homework. I will check this one question, which sound a bit strange with the requirements for children inside of the car, about that question, and I will come back next day, which is just tomorrow. Exactly tomorrow I will be here again at 8:30. So thank you if you have joined that stream, and see you tomorrow if you like. Goodbye.